Hello, I'm Beth. Welcome to Mindful Yoga with Yogi Beth C. That's me. This practice is designed as a pre-bed practice. It's going to unwind, stretch your body, start to quiet and relax your mind to help you prepare for bed. You can do it before bed or any time of the day where you'd like to slow down, get a little bit quieter, feel a bit more relaxed. So I'll be doing this practice in a chair. If you prefer, you could be seated on your bed. So we're going to start with a breath practice. To prepare for the breath practice, make sure if you're seated, you're in a comfortable position and your body feels upright so you can access the breath, that you feel long in the spine without being stiff. So take a few moments to breathe your own natural, comfortable breath. Notice where you can feel the breath. Perhaps you can get a sense of the breath around your nostrils. And maybe you can start to hear the breath softly as it moves in and out. I'm going to move into a breath practice called Ujjayi breathing, where we're intentionally creating a soft sound in the back of the throat. It's a really light sound. And it's similar to the sound we might make if our mouth was open and we were trying to fog up a mirror, although Ujjayi breathing is traditionally practiced with the mouth closed. Let's try it first with the mouth open. I'm going to use my virtual mirror. So take a natural breath in, and as you breathe out through the mouth as if you were trying to fog the mirror. 2 more times like that. Breathe in through the nose, out, making that slight ha sound as you breathe out. And one more time. Now try to continue that breath on the exhale without using your virtual mirror, with the mouth closed. I'll do it 2 or 3 times. You may or may not be able to hear me. It's mostly audible just to you. So let me try it once, exaggerating a little bit. Natural breath in. And then last element we'll add to the breath is to do an even breath in, even breath out. So I'm going to count to a 3 count, and I'll close the mouth for the Ujjayi breathing on the exhale. Breathe in, 2, 3. Exhale, Ujjayi. 3. In, 2, 3. Exhale. So I'm keeping that count 3 on the in, 3 on the out. I'll count it the other way around this time. Breathe in, 3, out, 2, 3. Start to fall into a natural rhythm, whatever your rhythm is. It's fine if it's only 2 counts, it's fine if it's 4 counts. We're working toward the same in and out. So let's have a little quiet moment or two so you can practice that on your own. Okay, we're going to start some movement throughout the practice. As much as possible, continue that even breath in, even breath out, adding the Ujjayi sounding breath if that works for you. I'm going to slide a little bit forward, so I'm a little bit more to the edge of my chair. I have a little bit more freedom to move. My feet are a bit ahead of my knees. They can be hip width apart wherever your feet feel stable. Rest your hands on your thighs. We're going to start to stir our whole torso. These are called Sufi circles. So it's if our spine was a big spoon, our pelvic bowl is the bowl. You can make your circles any size you want. You might start hearing some creaks, some cracks. And you'll see my hands naturally move a bit, slide along my thighs as I'm moving. So for this first movement, the spine is really long, and you can think about your in-breath and your out-breath, keeping your spine long. Maybe you think about inhaling on the front part of the circle and exhaling as you go the back. A few more in this direction, then we'll switch directions. All right, stop in front, and again, switch. Start to circle the other way. Notice your weight on your sits bones. So you should, as you move from left to right, be able to sense your weight moving around a little bit on the parts underneath you that are touching your chair or your bed, wherever you're seated. Perhaps you start to feel something a little bit in your hips. If you've been seated all day, maybe this feels a little bit refreshing. We're simply trying to move our body really gently to get out any tension and start to relax more before bed. Let's do one more. And come to center. Hands can stay on the thighs. We're going to do a small cat-cow, a small expansion across the chest, and then a little bit of rounding on the exhale. So on the inhale, slide your hands closer to your body. Feel how that draws the elbows back. Draw your shoulder blades back a little bit on the back and feel like you're widening across the front. Maybe a tiny little bit of lift in the upper chest, and your gaze can go upward. So that's the in-breath. And then as you exhale, we'll move the chin toward the chest, sliding the hands a little forward on the legs as you get a little bit of rounding into your upper back, letting all the air go out. And then your next inhale, once again, your hands can move, your chest moves forward. So the emphasis is on the expansion across the chest. And then on the exhale, forming a little bit of a rounded shape with the spine, but really focusing on letting all the breath release. Let's do this a few more times, inhaling and expanding, gathering the breath in. And remember, on the exhale, we're trying to keep the breath even on the inhale, even on the exhale. One more time like this. Breathe in, take in breath. Exhale, fully let go, release the breath, soften the body. And then on your next inhale, once again, find your upright spine. You might do a few mini circles to find where your weight is even on both sits bones. And we're going to do a bend to the side. So this time you can let your hands rest by your side. And then I'm mirroring you. Take your left hand and either put it toward your left ear or overhead. And if that doesn't feel good, it can certainly stay by your side. I'm going to put mine toward my ear. Right hand hangs loose by your side, and we're going to tip the body to the right side. So I'm not lifting off my hips. I'm keeping my body planted. You can think about the elbow or the arm reaching up to the sky. So I think about my side elbow sort of arcing up. My other fingertips are heavy toward the ground. And I'm feeling a stretch in my ribs along this side body. And inhale, come back up. If you were using the arms, switch sides, and we'll tip to the second side. Remember, you're not tipping so much that your hips are lifting. Keep yourself really firmly grounded and think about from that hip on the chair or the bed, expanding into the side ribs. Maybe you feel yourself breathing into that area. Come back up, one more in each direction. This time I'll reach overhead. Let's take about 2 or 3 breaths here. Remember that even breath in, even breath out. Inhale to reach back up, both arms overhead if you'd like. Exhale to the second side. And anytime you want to close your eyes, go inside, you have that option. And then inhale, reach back up, arms down. And we'll take a twisting movement. So we're moving our spine in all different directions. Again, I'm mirroring you. So take your left hand, reach across your left thigh. Your right hand can start to reach behind you. Feel how you're already twisting around your rib cage. That's the action we want. So start to twist toward your right, and your back hand can hold on the chair, the back of the chair rest. Your left hand is gently pushing into your thigh. Your legs don't move. Start with your chin right centered in your chest. And then turn your head in the same direction that you are twisting, any amount that feels comfortable for your neck. And breathe here. Bring your head back center. Start to unwind back to the front, and we'll go to the second side. So take your right hand across to the outside of your leg. Feel that twist happen around your ribs. Continue that twist on your exhale. Your back left hand can be over the chair. It can be holding on wherever it holds on. Take a breath in to find your depth or your place of your twist. And then on the exhale, turn your head into the twist, any amount. Next, exhale, center your head, come back around to front. We'll do one more time in each direction, this time adding a different stretch of the neck. So start in the same way, reach your arm across, really feel your body twisting around your ribs on the exhale. Breathe and get tall, holding your body here for a moment. And then on this exhale, keep your twist, but twist your head in the opposite direction of your twist, so long as that feels okay on your neck. If it ever feels like a strain on your neck, keep your neck centered on your chest. And we'll take 2 breaths with the head in this direction. Look front, look back to me. Unwind your body. Take a breath in, exhale. Last time, last side. So we come around, we find where we want to hold our twist on this side. We breathe in, making sure our body is long and tall. And then on the exhale, option to look back over the opposite shoulder, only going to the degree that feels okay for your neck. Whether you feel some stretch, not a lot of stretch, place your neck where it works for you, or your head where it works for your neck, and take 2 breaths here. And then next exhale, back to front. Unwind your body. Readjust your seat as needed. Next, we'll do a small forward fold. So I'm going to start with my hands resting on my thighs. I'm going to start to hinge forward right from the crease of my hips, so right bending at my hips. I'm not rounding my back. I'm keeping my back really long as I bend forward. You can take your legs wider for more space or keep them together, whatever works for you. I have mine maybe a tiny bit more than hip width. And then stay here. Maybe you're at about a 45-degree angle if you think about closing a door with your torso. Or if you're able to lean on your elbows and press your palms together, you can do that, almost like you're in a little coach position. And then last option here is the option to let your head fall, tuck your chin toward your chest, just release the back of your head so you don't have to hold up your head. And if you'd like, you can take your thumbs and place them right between your brows. For some people, that can add an additional element of relaxation and supporting the head. If you don't like that, fingertips can point downward as your head releases. Either option works perfectly fine. We'll stay in this position for 3 more breaths, looking for that even inhale, even exhale with that Ujjayi breathing pattern. And then use your hands to walk yourself back up your legs, coming to upright. All right, a few more movements to stretch and release the body, upper and lower. So starting with upper, we'll take some shoulder circles, shoulder movement. This movement can be however you like. You can shrug your shoulders up, let them come back down. You can circle them both back at the same time. I like mostly going back because we're often hunched forward. So feeling back feels best to me. If you want to go in both directions, you can. And you can also do one shoulder at a time, sort of swimming your arms back, maybe adding a little bit of a backstroke to that. One at a time can help notice whether there are differences from side to side. Last one or two, you might hear some creaks and cracks in there. I certainly do. And then settle your shoulders back down and feel as if your elbows are heavy and dropping a little bit more toward the floor. Does that put any more rest or relaxation into your shoulders? You can also let your hands be by your side for a moment. Think about your hands being a little heavier, and then rest them down with your shoulders comfortably soft. So we'll do just a little bit for the lower body in the chair to make sure our lower body feels a little bit looser. We're going to take one leg. You can hold on your thigh if you want, whatever leg you want to start with. If you're mirroring me, it would be your left leg. Lifting it again so your thigh floats, or hold it. And we're going to bend straighten a few times. Toes can be pointed, flexed, somewhere in between. And you might hear creaky knees, you might hear other stuff going on, stuff in your hips, that's all fine. Put that leg down, shift to the other side. And when you do that, try not to lean back too much in your chair. Try to keep upright if possible, though if a little lean helps you keep a long back, go ahead and do that. Same thing on the second leg, simply bending, straightening to whatever degree feels okay for you. Your leg could be lower, and if lifting doesn't feel right, sliding the heel in and out on the floor works just as well, keeping the leg down and lifting it up. We'll go back to the first leg. Again, either lift or keep it down. Extend your leg to a comfortable degree and do a few circles with your foot, really ankle circles, a little bit in one direction, a little bit in the other direction. Ideally, before bed, if we're stretching, we don't have our shoes on, so our feet can start to expand and let go. And then the second leg, stretch out, one direction with the ankle circles, the other. All right, our last couple of movements, and then we'll finish with some additional breathing practice. So this time we're going to take our knees wide, wider than your hips, and perhaps even a little bit wider than your chair, whatever is comfortably wide for you. We're going to do another version of the twist, starting with the forward fold. So like we did before, slide your hands forward on your thighs, coming down to some degree, maybe a 45-degree angle, maybe you come down a little bit further, using your hands for support. Keep the back of your neck long with your spine. So I tend to look up at you. Your gaze is going to be somewhere a little out ahead of you, so you can look down. And then let your left elbow slide to the inside of your thigh. I've got my palm up here. Right hand gently pushes on the top of your right thigh so that you can start to twist toward the right. A little bit of a different twist than we did upright. The back is still long and extended. So think about the wideness across the shoulders, across the front of the chest that we did with the initial breathing exercise as your shoulders pull together a little bit on the back. And then push into that same hand to come back up to your lean position, and we'll go to the second side. Elbow comes into the thigh. A little gentle push helps you move around, and I'm using a little gentle pressure on my hand on my thigh. So your left hand is going to push a little bit, your right elbow is gently going to brace yourself as you twist toward your left. And this time I'm keeping my head, my chin pretty centered on my chest. You can give it a little nod in either direction and see how that feels. And of course, we're still breathing. Unwind back to front. Hands are still here on your thigh. We're going to do one more forward fold. So with your legs wide, you can do what we did before and take the elbows to the inside of the thighs. You'll probably be a little lower this time. You can place the hands together. You can hold on to the hands. Or if it's comfortable to you, you can start to hinge more, maybe sliding your hands down the inside of the legs. If the floor feels close, you can have your hands on the floor. If you're in front of something, a bed or a desk, you can rest your body there. Or you can also put blocks, something underneath your hands, a stool. Wherever you are, let your chin release, your head soften, and we'll breathe here about 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready to come up, start to walk your hands back up your legs once more. Give yourself a little prop to help yourself sit upright. You can keep your legs wide if you prefer, or take them closer together. And we'll finish with a little bit more of a relaxing breath. For this, if you want to have a gentle lean against the backrest of your chair, feel free. Still keep your body upright. The goal is to be able to feel the breath in the body. So start by establishing that Ujjayi breath if you can, feeling the exhale, make that little gentle sound on the back of your throat. If that feels too challenging or not relaxing to you, let it go. Reestablish an even breath in, even breath out. And then to encourage additional softening and relaxing, we're going to add a little bit of a length to the exhale, so a beat or two longer. I'll give a few examples. If you were breathing into 3, you might breathe out to 4 or 5. So let's do that together. You go at your own pace. Take a natural breath in, and I'll count. You don't have to. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you don't like counting, you could use the length of your words, how you say the word. So an example of that would be in, out, or inhale, exhale. Try about 5 more rounds, knowing that you can always turn off the video and go longer if you are feeling in a relaxed state and want to continue. I'm going to do 5 more rounds with you. So when you're ready, you can let go of the breath pattern. You can end the video by moving right to bed or to another quiet activity before you're ready to go to bed. If you like these yoga practices, I actually have some sleep stories that you can do right before bed, and you can also do other mindfulness meditations with me as well. Comment below to let me know what you thought, and have a good rest of your day.